the evidence the cops have found or the agents have found, keep it from being suppressed, assert the rectitude of the existing social order, carry out an idea of applying the law.
You're part of a unit.
You're part of a huge unit. Part of the sovereign.
What makes a good prosecutor to you? When have you sat in a courtroom and said, man, this guy or this woman, they're good?
Real connection with victims of crime, a real understanding of the human situation, an ability to empathize with a defendant.
What you're saying then is that, if I'm right, is that beyond them genuinely having an empathy for the victims, at least conveying that effectively to a jury.
Yes.
To pass on to the jury, look what happened to these people and put yourself in their position.
And a passion about it, a sense of passion about it.
An articulated passion.
Yeah. From
your side, as a defense attorney, are there people that come in and they sit down with you and they want your firm to defend them and you tell them no? What's the process by which you choose, the firm and you individually, you choose who you will and won't defend?
If it's a good fit, and there are plenty of people we tell no, or in the end, who walk in thinking they want us and walk out saying, no, you may be the right lawyer for the next guy, but not for me. So at least for me, an initial client meeting is 2-3 hours long, sometimes longer than that, and it's just feeling out, are we going to be able to work well together?
And some component of that is the facts of the case? Or is that even kind of down the list of what's important?
It's down the list.
Why? That's interesting to me.
Well, because, the facts, I have no way of knowing the facts when the client's walking in. I haven't seen the first police report. I haven't, seen anything the other side is saying. I have only the client's version, and he may have a very fragmentary understanding even of the facts as he understands.
Even he doesn't know what happened.
Right, or what other people are saying, or,
right.
And the less involved he was, the less he can possibly know about what the accusation is, right?
If he's truly innocent and wasn't there, then he doesn't know anything.
Doesn't know anything. Or if he was, drunk or, whatever. And that's often, a lot of arrests involve some drugs or alcohol on 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 sides. So more of it is just, is this going to be a good working relationship?
Without giving any details, obviously, or names, obviously, do they walk in sometimes and you have that first meeting and it goes fairly well, but as time goes on, you sit there and say, this guy did it, this person did it?
Oh, well, sure, but if you've...
And you still represent them?
Yeah, if you've gotten off on a really good start, when that comes, I've had situations where somebody's trying to sell me on, I didn't do it, and then, as time goes on, it becomes pretty clear they did.
And do they admit it to you?
If you've picked the right client and they've picked the right lawyer and you've worked on the relationship, they absolutely do.
So at that moment in that relationship when that person reveals that they did do it, what's that like for you? What do you do?
But I'm already there generally. Generally this is a conversation that I've started.
I'm waiting for you to say something.
With them. And then we simply revisit objectives. Because if they've done it and the relationship is good, no longer is the objective, well, I want to be acquitted at trial. I've never had a client say, I did it, but I want to be acquitted at trial. That's never happened to me yet. It may tomorrow, but it hasn't happened yet.
So for those who don't understand the ethics of these relationships, they're paying you and requesting that you help them get away with it.
Well, ethically, they could do that, and ethically, I can do that. I can't put them on the stand to give false testimony. I can't put anybody else on the stand I know is going to give false testimony.
You just sit back and wait to see if the state makes their case.
Yeah, you can rely on reasonable doubt in the end. Now, that's a lousy defense strategy most of the time, simply to rely on reasonable doubt. That's not a compelling story to tell a jury, right? But it could be done. I've never had to do that. To date, because once there's a breakthrough and they say, I did it, it's almost seamless to restate the objectives of the representation at that point. Then it becomes, but I understand I'm going to miss my kid's high school graduation. Is there any way I cannot miss his college graduation? Can you mitigate the consequences here and guide me through this? And